Hey, what's up, church? It is your brother, Pastor D here. I just want to thank you for tuning in today. And I want to share with you something that I really believe is powerful. It's powerful when it comes to how we walk and live out our salvation. We are in the season of Passover. We are in Passover season, and I'm preaching and teaching on Passover power. There's a power in every aspect of our salvation. There's a power in every festival and feast that God has told us to celebrate. Out of the three major feasts, Passover is the foundational feast. Without Passover, you can't have Pentecost. Without Passover, you can't have tabernacles. Passover is the essential, is the feast that we must embrace, that we must celebrate, because it's the feast that celebrates the sacrificing of the Lamb. It's the Lamb that was sacrificed that enables us to walk in the Passover power. The power of Passover is what we all should be celebrating, is what we're all called to celebrate. Remember, Jesus said it like this in 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. He says, remember my death. He said, remember my death. We celebrate the death. We celebrate the death of our Lord. We remember his death till he come. It's the death, Paul said. It's the death that we should be embracing. It's the death that we should be celebrating. And Passover is a time for us to celebrate the death of our Lord. Come on now. In their day, when the feast was initially established, it was the celebration of the death of the Lamb. The Lamb, it was a beautiful picture of Jesus Christ. I'm talking about to the letter, to the T, from the examination to the time that they kept the lamb, to get close to the lamb, and they examined the lamb, and they slayed the lamb, and they fed off the lamb. Everything about the lamb in their day is a picture, is a beautiful metaphoric picture of how we are to feast off of the lamb today. You look at what the Passover season is all about. Here's what I want to get to. The power of Passover is based off this thing. It's a deliverance from three things: from spiritual death, from poverty, and from sickness. Now, when we look at the curse of the law, what is the curse of the law? In Deuteronomy 28, the curse of the law, the bottom line to the curse of the law is death, poverty, and sickness. Passover power enables us to walk above death, poverty, and sickness. That's what Passover is all about. Passover is about us celebrating the lamb that was slain from the foundations of the world. Passover is about the lamb that was slain and the blood that was put upon the doorposts of the homes of the children of Israel. It's about the blood that's been put upon the doorposts of our hearts, so that now we embrace Passover just like they embraced Passover. We walk in the promises of Passover just like they walked in the promises of Passover. We walk in the power of Passover just like they lived the power of Passover. Church, it is for us today. We've been engrafted into this covenant that God established with the nation of Israel. We've been engrafted into it. It becomes ours now. Everything that was given to him was given to me now. Everything that they possess, all the power, all the promises. Now, mind you, there are some natural promises for Israel that we as the church, we can't walk in. But when it comes to the spiritual promises and the promises of the covenant and the covenant of wealth and the covenant of blessing that God has promised us, man, we are part of that. We are part of that covenant. We've been engrafted into it, and it belongs to us. This festival is to be celebrated by the church of the living God. The Passover feast, the Pentecostal feast, the Tabernacles feast is to be celebrated by us as the church. Our feast, we must celebrate. Listen, I want you to get this, because Passover power is about you being delivered from poverty and you being delivered from sickness. In Psalm 105 verse 37 it says, and he brought them forth also with much silver and gold, and there was not one feeble person among their tribes. This is the promise and the power of Passover. When he brought them out in much silver and much gold. He brought them out of being slaves. He brought them out of being impoverished. He brought them out of being in lack, and he brought them into silver and gold. And I love how he brought them into it. Go to Exodus 11. He says, and the Lord said unto Moses, verse 1, yet will I bring one plague more upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterwards he will let you go. Hence, when he shall let you go, he shall surely thrust you out hence altogether. Speak now in the ears of the people, and let every man borrow of his neighbor. That word borrow there is not the borrow that we think. It's a word that really means to place a demand upon. Place a demand upon the neighbors. In other words, those who had them in captive, those who had them slave, he said, go make a demand on them to give them what's rightfully yours. Passover is about you coming out of poverty into what it's about you getting what's rightfully yours, that's been held back from you for so long, and being in full possession of it. That's what Passover is about. Passover power is about walking in the ability to create and build wealth. We know God has given us the ability to get wealth, but Passover is the avenue that we begin the process of possessing the wealth that God has for us. We know God wanted his people to come out to the woods and worship him. That was so that he can connect with them. That's so that he can empower them, so that they can go in and possess the land. Passover, fellas, and Passover church is about us walking in power, us walking in glory, us living out the mandate that's upon our life to be wealthy and to be healthy, so that we can glorify his name. Come on, church, let's celebrate Passover. Let's embrace Passover. Let there not be one feeble among us. Let there not be one impoverished among us, as it was when Passover was established. So shall it be today.